Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
This time on the Kindness Project, Messy Munchies, Turkish Slaps, and we have part 2 of our interview with Danielle Lazenby.
Welcome to the Kindness Project. I am Chris Dames, and I'm joined by a girl who I found her embarrassment Achilles heel. It's Charlotte Dames.
And I'm joined by a man who wanted to take my hoodie and share it as a family hoodie. It's Chris Dames.
It is a family hoodie.
I've just not seen anyone else wearing it, have I?
Well, that's because I haven't seen you take it off yet. As soon as you take it off, I'm wearing it.
Well, then I'll never take it off.
Okay.
Don't you grubby hands on my hoodie.
What do you mean by grubby hands? How dare you?
My
Now,
precious.
I hit a nerve earlier on because I mentioned something. Normally we share quite a lot on this podcast, but I mentioned something that you preferred me not to mention.
Yeah, we had to start over.
We had to start again because you were like, Dad, please don't talk about that. Please don't talk about that. So in the spirit of kindness, with your embarrassment being at stake, I am not going to mention your. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. How you doing? You had a good week?
Cold, and I've got a cold.
I know. Everybody's cold. Everybody's got a cold. Everybody's suffering this week. But you know
Everyone's
what?
either got a cold, or trying, or
Or what?
I forgot what I was going to say. I had something good in my head. It was clever as well, and it just gone.
It will come to you. You know what made me feel better today and yesterday? Yesterday I went to the gym in the morning and I felt rough, but I jumped around a bit, so that helped me feel quite a lot better. And then a bottle of Lucozade, a big bottle of Lucozade. And I don't know what it is about Lucozade when you're rough, but is it magic, Lucozade?
It's
I don't know.
supposed to be really good, but drinking Lucozade makes me feel sick, so I've never tried it.
I think Lucozade has got glucose in, which in short bursts make you feel better. But
oh yeah, but I live off a diet of bread and nothing else.
Yeah. Well, I don't think bread and nothing else is particularly nutritious. Why do you live off a diet of bread and nothing else?
Well, it's not really bread and nothing else. It's I wake up in the morning.
That's got to cost you loads of dough.
I don't pay for the dough, do I, though?
No. You will start paying for the dough soon, love,
yeah,
alright?
Yeah. But, I wake up in the morning, I'll have toast, and I'll go to school, Mum will have made me a sandwich, and then, that's every day for a week, it's toast, sandwich, come home.
Now, weirdly, I'm the exact opposite at the minute, because I've eliminated bread from my diet. I cannot remember the last time I had a slice of bread. I've not stopped.
Yesterday lunchtime.
What?
Last time I had a slice of bread was yesterday lunchtime.
Does that mean you haven't eaten since that yesterday lunchtime?
No.
So you do eat you haven't only got a diet of bread, have you?
Mum approached me this morning and said, I'm gonna start getting you those porridge pots because I don't like you having bread for every meal.
Yeah.
It wasn't yesterday lunchtime, it was yesterday breakfast.
Okay.
I skipped yesterday lunch.
Okay. What did you have for dinner?
A dirty burger.
What was so dirty about this dirty burger?
It was just, you know those burgers you get at...
So there was a lot of bread in your diet? Because even though it wasn't a slice, it was a burger.
Yeah, but you know those burgers, and they kind of, you squeeze them and they drip. It's one of those. And it was they had this special sauce, and it was bacon and cheese, and even the burger meat was...
They need to rename that burger from the dirty burger to the absolutely filthy burger. I mean, it sounds...
It wasn't called a dirty burger, it was called a...
It wasn't called a dirty burger.
But that's just what it is. It's a dirty burger.
Right, so what was it actually called?
Oh, something to do with ultimate burger.
Ultimate burger. I think I prefer dirty burger. Why do you call it a dirty burger?
Because it's something Mum said to me, and it just made sense because it's just a mucky thing to eat. Right. It gets all over your fingers and all over your face.
Now I'm pretty sure I've told this story before in the podcast, but let me tell it again, just because it's one of my favourites. The dirtiest burger I've ever had, right?
That really tall one
was in a. I was coming out of a pub in Beckton in East London, and there was a mobile catering establishment sitting outside. Walked up to it, ordered a burger, 2 burgers, right? Getting dirty, already 2 burgers. He said, "Do you want bacon?" "Yeah." "Do you want a fried egg?" "Yeah." "Do you want kebab meat?" "Yeah." "Do you want a gherkin?" "Yeah." It's getting less dirty now. "Do you want another burger?" "Yeah." And literally this thing came out and I couldn't close the lid of the thing because it was so big.
That's a top quality.
That's a filthy burger.
Did it spill all over your shirt?
Well, I ended up, it did spill a bit, and I ended up only eating half of it, and having to bin the other half because I just couldn't eat it.
You did not.
What was the matter with that?
You could have just left the other half in the box and eaten it later.
What, in the morning?
Yeah.
It didn't look particularly appetising in the morning. Have you never eaten a food that, like, you don't, clearly you don't drink, but have you ever eaten a food where once you've had a beer or two, looks really attractive, but in the morning doesn't?
Food is just always attractive. Unless it's got mould, because mould makes you feel sick as well.
Okay, fair enough. So, the other thing that made me feel better is I went for a Turkish haircut and shave at my local Turkish barbers. But there was a difference today, okay? The difference today is the man who was giving me my haircut and shave did a good job, but he was rather heavy-handed. So it was more of a wrestling match than a Turkish haircut and shave.
You've got a few nicks.
I've got a few nicks. I mean, he sorted himself out when he came to fixing the nicks. But what he did do is sort of less apply aftershave, more slap me about a bit. And it was, I didn't know whether to say anything.
Was it one of those?
Right, this is a podcast. You do realise people can't hear what we're doing.
I was gonna slap you in the face. I was like, oh no, that's probably not.
Yeah, he was like, I was like, what? And then I was like, I got to the end and I did that polite British thing of just going, "Thanks, mate," and I left him a tip. And I just realised I left him a tip for being half assaulted. I don't know whether that was the right thing to do, but that was my experience. So here's my advice to you, Charlotte. Cold and flu tablets working for me. Exercise working for me. A big bottle of Lucasade, which I'm going to go and get you in a minute.
No, don't. Please don't.
Oh, no, because you don't like it. Okay. How about being slapped by a big Turkish man? Is that where about, could that work for you?
Could you find me a big Turkish woman instead?
Maybe. Anyway, on that note, this week's question of the podcast is, can you find Charlotte a big Turkish woman? Every year I build, that's the other thing I'm doing at the minute, I've created my 2020 playlist, and I'm building songs into that playlist. Now, I've pinched some from you. Spotify's recommended me some absolutely brilliant songs, but I need the songs from you that are going to go on my playlist. So, what songs do you think I should add to my playlist in 2020? People can get in touch with us in the following methods.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have Instagram, but no one ever uses it. I'm trying to do the thing again. Let me retake. 3, 2, 1.
We're keeping that in, you know that. Where can people get in touch with us? What you need right now is a massive Turkish woman to give you a real slap.
Oh no, just distract me more, wouldn't it?
Are you thinking about a Turkish woman?
No, my brain is just all over the place, and I'm trying to think of the Twitter, and all I'm thinking is little birdies flying around.
Okay, Twitter is, while Charlotte sorts out what she needs to do, Twitter is at Holla, Hola kindness. Facebook, Charlotte?
There's a search bar thingy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The holla at thekindnessproject.co.uk. No, that's the email.
That's the email done. Facebook, if you just put The Kindness Project in the search bar, and we're also on the website, which is www.
Holla at the
No! That's the email! That's the email! Try again.
thekindnessproject.co.uk. Just search it. Just Google it.
If you Google it, you'll find it. But the website is www.thekindnessproject.co.uk. www.thekindnessproject.co.uk.
Massive ellipses right at the end there.
And you can dash in Morse code it's dash dot.
No, it would be much longer than that in Morse code.
No, I know. And on the website, and on the website, you can find all of our back episodes, which is 100 plus episodes, loads of amazing guests, just some top quality banter, some average quality banter, and some frankly poor banter. But you can,
and some absolutely cracking banter.
Then just take your pick. And on that note, should we crack on with the show?
Go on then. So
after all your dotting and dashing, I want to share a piece of good news this week. This is from the website that is my go-to at the minute for good news, goodnewsnetwork.org, and it's talking about Kirk Douglas, who recently passed away, aged 103. But in a lovely act after his death, in his will, he gave away his £61 million fortune all to charity.
Yeah.
His son Michael Douglas, who's a famous actor as well, it's with tremendous sadness that my brothers and I announced that Kirk Douglas left us today at the age of 103. To the world, he was a humanitarian whose commitment to justice and the causes he believed in set a standard for all of us to aspire to. According to reports, charitable receipts included St Lawrence University to help fund the Kirk Douglas Scholarship for underprivileged students. Important. Primarily those who grew up in poverty like Kirk did in the Great Depression in the 20s and 30s. Kirk Douglas has been transcendently generous to St Lawrence University, said the school's president. Contributions also went to Westwood Sinai Temple, Culver City's Kirk Douglas Theatre and Children's Hospital Los Angeles, which has previously received large donations from the actor. So, giving away all of your money, not to your children, but to charity, takes a large philanthropic commitment. What do you think of that?
I think it's absolutely brilliant. Making contributions to so many different because they're all like kind of like societies and different groups, and I think him giving his contributions even after he's gone is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that he worked hard and came from poverty and got a decent amount of luck on the way, probably wanting to give back to people who
aren't maybe as fortunate.
Aren't as fortunate as his kids. I mean, when I give all my money away to charity, you're going to be happy with that?
Yeah, sure, do it.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay. I think, you know what, it's interesting because it's an interesting debate to have. Because I think if you've got kids, certainly giving some of your money away to them in the event of your death might be something you want to do. But part of your contribution to children is to make them contribute to their future, but also to make them self-reliant. So give them the skills and attitude.
About, just giving them the money. I think I was talking more about I was talking more about giving to the world so that it's a better place that children can live in.
Yeah.
In a way, because if you give it just to the children, they're going to spend it on themselves, but that doesn't necessarily improve their way of life. But if you give it to the world that your children live in, obviously that's going to improve the things that are around them. That's going to improve the people who live in their world. It's going to improve how other people act, how other people think, how other people react to them, and how other people treat them because of this contribution to, instead of one specific person.
But surely it depends who you give it to.
Yeah, it definitely does. Because some things are too small scale, but even then, that's still affecting the things around them.
Any contribution is a positive contribution, and I think with Kirk Douglas dying at 103, if his kids aren't sorted by now, I mean, his kids are in their 60s and 70s, you probably like don't need to worry about them as much. But certainly an amazing thing to give that money away, and well done, Kirk Douglas.
Well done.
So this week we have the second part of an interview with the amazing Danielle Lazenby. Danielle just basically wandered the country dressed as an elf last Christmas, delivering presents to kids in hospices.
Oh, yeah,
She's really lovely, Danielle. We talked quite a lot. This is the second half of the interview, where, as always, it includes the questions of the podcast. Shall we listen?
Yes.
So, you must have stayed at a few hotels on the trip.
Did,
the castle sounds like the best one.
That was the best.
What was the worst one?
Forced out. I don't really want to slander them, but this Holiday Inn that I stayed in, oh my word.
Was it bad?
It was really, really bad. You walk through and you could smell weed.
Right. That's a bit, not the greatest place.
Really nice pub up the road. They
Okay.
had a really nice roast dinner. So that was the plus side of that.
Yeah.
But my work arranged the hotels for me, bless them.
Did they?
They did.
And you know what? I love the fact that it's not only about you, it's about your network around you, supporting you,
Everyone
and
pulled
people
together.
at work.
I've got a really good friend of mine who I told you about having to send the parcels. It was completely unplanned, that needing to send that many parcels, and he just stepped up and said, right, I'm paying to send them.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. So there's 1,800 kids who've got presents because of you.
Yeah.
Great stuff. And where was this castle? I mean, we won't say where the worst one was. In the Wirral. So it's near Liverpool, isn't it? Like the sort of...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that sounds all right. Next time
My
I'm up
last one, planned it quite well. My last one was a Hilton Spa Hotel.
Oh, perfect.
my
Perfect for the last
last
day. I love a spa.
In the jacuzzi I was.
I you know what?
De-elfing.
De-elfing. Don't tell me you brought your outfit in, right? You didn't.
No,
you
I
didn't.
didn't.
Yeah.
I was half tempted to actually wear it to come in. I was, but I thought, no, Christmas is over.
Yeah.
For now, anyway.
So you got back on Christmas Day.
Christmas
Oh,
Eve.
Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
right? Okay, yeah, okay,
And
cool.
that was a panic. That really was a panic. I sat down. I can tell you a bit about the journey. I sat down a good few weeks before, because obviously the hospice is wanting to know when I was going to arrive there. So with good old Google, I'm writing in the postcodes, working out the quickest route, and I had a little chart on Excel.
Yeah.
I actually did the administration part of it with Excel, with where I was going from and to, how many miles it was. On Google, I made sure I went on it during the rush hour, so I had the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
How long it would take me to get there, so an estimated time of getting there, and this is what I worked with. Yeah, and it all went to plan. I didn't hit one bit of traffic.
So you were ahead of...
I was ahead of schedule every single day.
But you know what's going to be interesting, Danielle, is when you do the next one with all of them, because you're going to have ones on islands and ones
Northern
on...
Ireland and Isle of Man.
Yeah, but you know what? Right, I think having a bit of adventure in your life is part of what life's about. I'm doing Charlotte and I went to Japan last year, and we're planning Cassie's idea of a holiday is 2 weeks on the beach. I just want to go and have an adventure. So we're doing this thing where we're flying over to Moscow and basically getting the train home. So we're going via Moscow, St. Petersburg, Finland, Slovakia, Slovenia, and that to me, you want to create those memories, don't you? Those memories of going I dressed up as an elf and went around the country. I just need you to take a photo on the ferry on the way to Northern Ireland, just as an elf. That'd be brilliant.
Everyone pulled together. I obviously had to go through a few tolls, especially around the Manchester, Liverpool way, and put my window down, and they're looking again. I'm like, yes, I am an elf. And they're like, what? And I'm just a quick explanation of what I was doing. Up went the barrier. They never charged me.
Yeah, that's
great.
amazing.
Absolutely great.
That's amazing. So you talked about the support you had from work. Who else supported you? Your mum?
My mum, she wrapped a lot of presents. She went out and bought loads of wrapping paper for me. My sister wrapped loads of presents. Amy wrapped loads of presents.
Amy's your daughter.
My daughter, yeah. My home was just floor to ceiling of presents.
Yeah. and it will be this year as well, by the sounds of it.
All my guys at work, they helped with the wrapping. They bought loads of lovely little gifts on top of what I'd already bought.
Tell me a little bit about. You said your mum's your role model. Yeah. Why is that?
She's just the strongest person you'll ever meet.
Okay.
She does anything for everyone. She's the unit of our family. She keeps us all together. If me and my sister misbehave, then God help us, off comes a slipper and we're slapped with it. She's a brilliant grandmother. We all love her. She's amazing. Saying 70-something, she's
still loads of energy. Yeah.
She's one of them. You'll spot her walking down the street. You look down, look up, and she's gone. Boom.
Yeah. But that energy is like brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I know in the article that I read on your journey that part of the reason that you thought about this is because you had a breast cancer thing happened to you. Did that change the way you thought about life, and if so, how?
I've always been one of those that's gone out and enjoyed things. I've always been the child. I've got a very, very huge inner child in me. If anything, what it taught me was live for the moment.
Okay.
And sometimes that doesn't work to plan when you're, like, for example, when I got diagnosed, it was a live for the moment. We went to Disneyland Paris. I treated my family to there. We went to Centre Parks. I've done wing walking.
Okay.
Something I've always wanted to do. What the hell? Let's do it. Credit card, obviously. I'm still paying that back, but yeah, if that's one thing that I did learn was live for the moment.
Yeah, it's a weird one because as you know, my day job is a financial planner, so my job is to get that balance right between live for today.
I will talk after this.
yeah. I don't know how much help I'll be, but it's an interesting one because when we talk to people about money, part of the conversation is you've got to live for today, but also get the balance right between making sure you're going to be okay in the future. But it's a really interesting one. Talk to me about what you learned the most on all your visits.
Oh wow! There's so much that I learned on my visits. Obviously, I knew that these hospices were special places. Walking in there and seeing one of them had a gingerbread house. It was like all lit up and it's amazing. The staff are unbelievable.
Yeah.
I knew they were unbelievable. To have to do that job, you've got to be unbelievable. But I didn't realise just how unbelievable.
And you know what's interesting? I didn't realise this, and I only learnt through the work that I've been doing with St Francis. A lot of it's voluntary. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of volunteers across hospices all over the country.
This is what I was going to say, is they don't get any funding.
Yeah.
It's appalling that they don't get funding. Speaking to a lot of the fundraisers that are responsible for keeping these places open and operating for these children, some of them, one of them, said they have to raise £10 million a year in order to stay open.
Yeah. That's per hospice as well. Yeah.
And it's all through fundraising.
Yeah.
It is appalling, but it's amazing at the same time. These hospices, and I was given tours and I met some of the children and they've got hydro pools and these children are just so happy. Yeah. Big smiles on their faces.
Yeah, no,
one of them met this little lad and he couldn't walk. He had a life-limiting illness. And he was currently having a sleepover at this hospice, and he wanted to show me his room where he's staying, like to carry him to this. And he was chatting away, and he showed me his Toy Story 4 bed cover. And he was going through Jessie and Woody, and he loved it, absolutely loved it. It's like, with not a care in the world. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, if anybody's going to show you how to live for the moment, it's kids like that, and it's great. So talk to me a bit about the Wimble, because I haven't done a Wimble yet, and that sounds amazing. I did a parachute jump last year. Have you done one of them?
No. I've always said I can't do bungee jumping.
Right.
I'll be able to throw myself off a plane because I have a really sensitive stomach.
Okay.
If I ever fly over, my belly goes over, so throw myself out the plane.
You know what? I got so it was a weird one. So I did it. I did it for charity. I did it for a really good charity called In Sue's Name that does brain cancer research. Who's a dad? So weirdly, his guy who's in his early 70s, still full of energy. His daughter died of brain cancer, and he set it up. So anyway, I was 3 beers in when I said I'd do it, and then immediately the morning after regretted saying yes. But then ended up like me and the kids and Kaz went down to the south coast. And they're all strapping you up, and you do it tandem, so you've got somebody who actually knows what they're doing attached to you. And I'm chatting to the guy and saying, like, sort of, tell me a little bit about you. And he was 22. So I've got this young bloke, 20 years my junior. I'm trusting my life with here. Like, I'm just, but he was brilliant. He was really, really good. And that freefall bit is amazing.
I'll think about it. Maybe I'll need a few more than three beers in.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's one of those things where once you're committed, you're committed. Yeah. No, but I for Richard House a few years ago, I did the abseiled off the Orbit, and that was really good fun.
I abseiled off the YMCA many years ago for First Step. My son went there.
How was that? What did you abseil off?
It was down the YMCA building in Romford, and I took the longest to do it. I kept coming away from the wall and looking up and shouting up saying, I can't touch the wall. I was just dangling there. They say that you need to confront your fears. I don't like heights.
So doing that was quite impressive.
Dangling, they say that it does sort your fears out when you confront them, but it made me 10 times worse.
Yeah, when I did, I've done a couple actually for Richard House. I did the Broadgate Tower in Liverpool Street and the Orbit, and on both I was either bouncing off the building or just spinning round, and it was just not a good look. But
the wing walking, that was, something I saw on telly many, many years ago, and I always said I wanted to do it. So out came the credit card and I did it. And the only way I can describe it, it's great. He kept making the aircraft do like roller coaster moves, up and down, and I loved every minute.
Where did you do it?
Just at Upminster.
Yeah, Dabbins. Yeah. I did a little flying lesson up there. It was pretty good, didn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. But I was like, you get the slobbery dogs that stick their heads out the window. My cheeks and this slobber was just going down the side of my face, and I just kept thinking, oh, the pilot's right behind me. I really hope that my slobber is not going
I'm sure it was everyone's. When I did my flying lesson over there was an 82-year-old woman, and it was her birthday, and it was our ambition to wing walk, and she did it then. It was brilliant. So tell me the most unexpected thing to happen when you've been visiting Niall's business.
Everything went to plan.
Okay.
Obviously, my princess, I was expecting sadness. I was expecting a lot of heartache. There's many a times I got back to my car and I did have to shed a tear or two. But yeah, it's probably the princess was the most unexpected.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to be that involved with the children and. Yeah.
But then that brings it to life, doesn't it? The work that brings what you're doing to life. And tell me about what's next. So same time next year, bigger journey?
I'm hoping. I need to talk my mum round.
Yeah.
Hopefully now I know what to expect. I can get a few more of the newspapers behind me to talk with the fundraising. And I'm hoping to arrange a mid-year Christmas party. Any excuse to get the Christmas decorations out.
Right. Now hold on. I was with you all the way, but now you're encouraging Christmas in August.
No, June. I'm thinking June.
August is too late, clearly.
Mid-year one. Yeah, so get some raffle prizes and raise lots of money, hopefully.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. And then you can, like, you're doing it next year. I love that. Right, okay, cool. Before we finish, every week on the podcast, we ask our listeners some questions. And they're not related to kindness, but they're just a bit random. So I'm going to ask you a few of them. Now, before we started the podcast interview, we started talking a little bit about books.
Yep.
So one question that was really popular for our podcast is, if you could be any character in any book, what would you choose?
Hit me with that one.
I know, it's a good one to start with, isn't it?
I would be... Do you have children listeners?
Some, yeah.
I want to say I'd be Anastasia Steele, and the parents of the kids would know where I'm coming from with that one.
Okay, fair enough. So you mentioned, I sort of know who that is, because that's from a romance style. Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, no.
We'll go with romance on that one.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I'm not going to dig any deeper, otherwise I'm going to get myself in a lot of trouble. What's the world's greatest chocolate bar or confectionery?
I change every month.
Okay.
At the moment, my favourite's a Kit Kat, but before it's...
Are we going original, or are we going
original?
mint? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before that it was Whisper Bar. I do like a Whisper Bar. Before that it was a Flake. Snickers. I change every single month.
How about an After Eight? Because that's the most Christmassy chocolate.
I'm not really
You're not a mint fan?
a dark chocolate fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what...
I do like a tin of Quality Streets.
See, I'm a bit more of a celebrations man. Celebrations.
See, that was something I did with the hospices. Tesco's thought I was absolutely mad, bonkers. I bought 54 tubs of Heroes.
Okay.
So that the staff of every hospice had like some chocolates, and I wrote a little letter as well. And I had 54 tubs of Heroes in my hallway for a month, and it took all my strength not to
Yeah, sorry, Swindon, you're not getting your thing. Okay, so what's your favourite piece of art?
Favourite piece of art? Anything my daughter does. She's an artist.
Is she?
And she is really.
What kind of work does she do?
She does landscapes. She does portraits. She says she's not very good at portraits, but the ones she's done have been brilliant.
Okay, yeah. Amazing. And what's your ideal Sunday morning, apart from sitting in your bungalow and looking at a mountain full of chocolates while you don't eat it?
On a Sunday, waking up to see my Christmas tree up in May.
Yeah.
No, I've not really got a dream Sunday morning. Will probably be just sleeping past 6 o'clock in the morning, because when I'm working, I'm up quite early.
Okay. Do you work weekends then?
Yeah, 24/7.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
4 and 4 off shifts I work.
Okay.
But when I'm not working, my son wakes up quite early, so yeah.
Okay. If you wrote your own autobiography, what would it be called?
The Diary of a Nutcase.
Okay, I like that. And what would you love to be remembered for?
Being me.
Okay.
I'm not by all means a saint, but I am unique, and I'm just hoping that should my time come, which it will do at some point
For
obviously,
everybody? Yeah.
people will remember some really good funny times.
Okay. What's the world's greatest double act?
I do like Anne and Dec.
Anne and Dec are good. That's a good choice.
I do like Anne and Dec, but I've got to say, with the I'm a Celeb, I did prefer Holly.
Holly was good. She was good.
A really good relationship, them two.
Yeah, okay. And last one, and let me pick a really... Oh, no. I've got to give you the one that's been the most... In 105 episodes... Literally, we've had hundreds of answers to this one. What's the world's greatest Fraggle or Muppet?
Oh, Animal.
Definitely.
I love Animal.
Definitely. I don't.
Give me a drum kit.
Yeah. I don't think there's any other answer to that question, is there? Animal is clearly the best. And anybody who answers anything else is clearly wrong.
Definitely.
Where can people find out a little bit more about your journey, your story, your...
Well, a lot of the journeys are documented on my Facebook page.
Okay.
checked into every single one that I was visiting, and that's all public. So if anyone searches my name, they'll be able to come across that, or previous stories from the month recorder.
Okay.
They're all on there as well.
And are you setting up a website for next time, or you're not sure?
I'm hoping to do it. Yeah, I'm hoping to do it a little bit more organised, a little bit more better. This was a
test
trial run. Yeah, this one.
No, imagine this is the first one. What's it going to be like in 10 years' time?
I know.
It'd be amazing.
This is exactly what the hospice. Because initially this was just going to be a one-off. I'm only doing it that year, and I'll do something this year. And every hospice I visited, all the hospice staff was like, so we're going to see you again next year. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. It's been brilliant. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. So Danielle lives about two roads away from my office, which is really weird, because on that particular week, I interviewed somebody for the podcast from China about Nepal, and somebody 2 roads from my office, so literally globe trotting and going around the corner. But Danielle was brilliant. Thank you, Danielle, for doing that. We love the work you do, and we look forward to seeing what you've got next.
Yep. 'Tis the end of another podcast.
And as usual, we are talking about last week's question of the podcast. And if you remember, Charlotte, we were talking about
Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget.
What's your favourite kitchen gadget? Was our question of the podcast, and we had quite a wide range of answers.
Did we get another debate? I always love the debates.
Well, no, we didn't have a debate so much, but nobody said go gadget finger, which I was gutted about. What we did have quite a lot of comments though, so let me just go through these now. Dom Thomas said his favourite gadget is his Nespresso coffee machine. Does it qualify as a kitchen gadget? I reckon it does.
Yep.
I reckon my coffee machine's a kitchen gadget.
We use it enough, don't we?
Christ today. But you know what's weird? I've gone back to the cafetiere now.
How many coffees do you have a day?
I've had quite a lot today.
How many coffees on average do you have a day?
3 or 4. Too many?
Dangerous levels of caffeine. Dangerous levels of caffeine that can lead to stuff like paranoia and anxiety.
Somebody said that. It wasn't me. It was a voice in my head. John Cook said, kettle. That's the best kitchen gadget. There's no other valid answers. I think there is.
I think that's 4. Might be 8.
Al McCann said, my hands are my favourite kitchen gadget because they can do virtually everything, which I sort of get out, but
can they walk a tightrope?
Yeah, that's fine. Rachel Fennessy likes her lemon squeezer. That's her favourite kitchen gadget.
I'm partial to the dishwasher.
The dishwasher's a good one. Hayley Ball likes her sandwich toaster. Richard L likes the kettle and, of course, the corkscrew. Alison Agan likes her silicone spatula. Now, I don't know what a silicone spatula is.
It's just a spatula made of silicone.
Oh, why is that so special then, I wonder?
Because the material it's made of makes it easier to use.
Ralph Dames, editor of the show and friend of the show, says, he's got a few, but my favourite is my air fryer rotisserie. Also, my pressure cooker comes a close second. Hayley Ball said sandwich toaster, and then Roberta White said rice cooker and talking scales. Ooh. I've got a pair of talking scales. Last time I got them, it said, "Get off, you're fat." No, that is a really poor joke. And on that note, my friends, we are saying goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.